I'm Barbara Tobias with the Mena Art Gallery, and here today is Carole Katchen. We're in Carole's studio, and you are going to come in January and do a month-long one-person show in the gallery for us. Is that right?
Yes. This is a very special show for me. This is my 40-year retrospective. I've been exhibiting my art for more than 40 years now, and I thought it would be very exciting to go back and compile work from all of those decades to show how the work has progressed over the years. And fortunately have several pieces that go all the way back to the early 70s. And it's really fun to watch how I've changed as an artist.
That should be interesting. I'm looking forward to this one.
Thank you.
You work in several different media, don't you?
Yes. Over the years, I've tried a little bit of everything. In the retrospective, there will be woodblock prints and original etchings. I've done some bronze sculpture, but my two main media are oil and pastel. And you can see behind you is one of the new oil paintings. It is a new series that I'm doing of koi fish. And the work is pretty much impressionistic. I think that's just the right word to describe it. And
I think so too.
I work with lots and lots of layers of color, whether I'm working with pastel or with oil, and gradually build up a depth of color so that the painting will be interesting to look at over a long period of time. So the oils are something I've been working with a lot lately, and I've got just one pastel up on the easel here. I have worked with pastels for the whole time I've been doing art, and I've written several art instruction books about how to paint with pastel.
Okay. And I believe you said earlier that you would do a workshop while you're in Mena. I
would love to do a workshop. I love working with other artists, and the workshops that I teach are a little bit different from what most workshop instructors do. I don't try to make people paint like me. You know, I think it's bad enough that there's one of me out there. I try to make you paint more like you and give you some guidance to make what you do stronger and more powerful. So in my workshops, I have my students work on what they care about, and then I give them a lot of individual attention to help them move further in the direction that expresses who they are.
I think I want to sign up. Are any of your books going to be on sale at the gallery?
Unfortunately, all of my books are out of print. However, the good news is that you can go online now, either Amazon.com or used books or out-of-print books, and I think just about all of them are available that way. There are 14 art instruction books that I've done over the years, and I would guess maybe 10 of them are available online, and that includes, of course, the pastel books, a book on figure drawing, a book on planning your paintings, working with tonal value, watercolor, painting with passion, and a couple of books about marketing your art. And something else that we might do when I'm there is, you know, aside from a painting workshop, you know, maybe do a short few-hour session on how do you market your art, how do you market art in a more effective way.
Tell us about these paintings.
Oh, I'm known for my paintings of people, and whereas the koi and the landscapes are pretty much pure impressionism, my paintings of people are described more as whimsical impressionism, because what I try to do when I'm painting people is concentrate more on the relationship between them, the gestures, the expression, the body language. And so these are paintings that I'm just starting. Here's one that gives a really good sense of how I begin the painting. The most important thing in this painting is the two women and their relationship to each other. So you see, I've got them leaning towards each other, so you can tell it's a very intense conversation. This woman has her arm around the other one's shoulder, so you know they're great friends. I'm putting in a big crowd behind them, so it looks like they're at a party, and I'm having them talk about the people at the party, and I'm thinking of calling this piece, "She Spent the Settlement Money Getting Her Face Done."
I love it.
I always like to have, the paintings express a conversation of one kind or another, and sometimes I put the conversation into the title. The others, you know, again, it's people interacting with other people. Here's one that actually, at one point it was done and I didn't like the woman. So I'm going back. And again, you see the two people are in a very intimate conversation with each other. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be talking about yet. But I have lots of fun with the people. They're usually drinking wine. That seems to be the #1 social activity in Hot Springs. I don't know if that's true all over Arkansas, but people here enjoy their wine, so I get the wine into my paintings.
People in Mena enjoy wine too. It's just not so easy to come by.
Aha!
Okay. Oh, you said you've been painting professionally about 40 years.
Yes.
What is your educational background in painting?
I did not study art in school.
That's amazing.
When I was in junior high school and took my first formal art class in junior high, the teacher told my mother I would never be an artist. He said she has a lot of imagination, but she doesn't have enough talent. So I just never took art classes.
Whatever talent is.
Yep. So when I got to college, I took a few art classes for fun. And meanwhile, I had always known I was going to write. So I started writing and doing drawings to go with what I was writing. And when I was in college, I sold my first children's book that I wrote and illustrated. And gradually I began to realize that I enjoyed the drawing more than the writing. So I just, I started sitting in on art classes. I started going to figure drawing sessions. I was living in Denver at the time. We had a lot of great, great artists there then. And so you could go to a session with a live model about 5 nights a week. You paid a couple of dollars and you got to paint side by side with these incredible artists. So I did that every night for several years. And then I started to write articles and books about art, and I included other artists' work, and I had to find out how they worked. And so most of my art education came from interviewing other artists and finding out what worked for them.
It's a great way to do it.
It is. It worked very, very well. And what you said about talent is so relevant, because I've decided that talent is a much overrated commodity. And I have taught in art schools and universities, and I have found that the students I like most are the ones who are not naturally brilliant artists. You know, I like the ones who have learned how to work their butts off. And I remember when I taught at Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, I would get these students right out of high school, and there would be the ones who had been the art stars, and they walked in like, you know, they were
like they own the place.
yeah, and they were going to be great. And then there are the ones who came walking in dragging all their materials, and I always preferred the ones who knew that they were going to have to work hard, because I made my students work very hard. And the ones who were really talented and who had always had it come easy for them fell by the wayside. And the ones who had to work hard eventually learned to become very good artists.
I really wish I could have been in your classes.
Thank you, thank you.
Of course, I have been accused of being a professional student, so.
Well, there are worse things.
Yeah. Just doesn't pay very well.
Sometimes being an artist doesn't pay very well either.
That's true. We're really looking forward to having you in Mena.
Well, thank you. I'm really excited about being there. I've never spent any time in Mena, and it will be a grand adventure.
Well, good. So plan to come to the exhibition in January, and check the Mena website, which is menaartgallery.org, and we will have dates and times and everything for you. We'll see you there.